Mm. Wait. Good evening, ma'am and classmates. We are the group number 6. We are going to present you all about disaster recovery and data backup. And let's get started. So, this is the definition of disaster recovery. In disaster recovery, it is the process by which an organization anticipates and addresses technology-related disasters. IT systems any in any company can go down unexpectedly due to unforeseen circumstances such as power outages, natural events, or security issues. In other Another term for disaster recovery that includes a company's procedures and policies to recover quickly from such events. So, based on my research, disaster recovery it tackles all about a system that helps to restore those files following following a cat, catastrophe. Next. Go, Gide.
Over 33,000 businesses have utilized our disaster recovery.
Platform.
Go ba? Game ba? Game na.
Siya ko na sona.
Sige,
Sige,
sige.
Gide, boy.
Sige. Over 33,000 businesses have utilized our disaster recovery template provided by our disasterrecovery.org organization. The new and improved version of the disaster recovery templates makes it easy to develop a plan and implement it with in-house resources. Stay in business has taken it a step further and introduced a host disaster recovery platform that is very easy to set up and use. The modules in this platform are cost effective. Having a plan in place can save thousands of dollar and downtime, easy to set up and use, cloud-based. Ensure remote accessibility and updating is very easy. Chain of command ensures that the organization knows who is in charge during disaster. Flexible. The plan the plan is flexible and adaptable to different scenarios. Optimum resource allocation. Ensure coordinate in response updates, one click and done. Inbuilt communication system. Send text alerts to key team members and employees.
Architecture. In disaster recovery architectures, resources are usually duplicated and replicated to a different data center and graphical region to ensure that they are far enough away from the source of the disaster. SkyType supports multiple disaster recovery solutions. Depending on your current application location and your business requirements, the solution includes cold and warm offsite disaster recovery for your applications running in your on-premises data center, as well as disaster recovery to an alternate region for applications running in SkyType. On-premises data center to SkyTap cold recovery. In a cold disaster recovery architecture, the backup location and resources aren't running in real time. It takes longer for them to come online in the event of a disaster, as they need to be powered on and updated. Usually, data must also be restored from an alternate location or from cold backup. On-premises data center to SkyTap warm recovery. In a warm disaster recovery architecture, the critical backup resources are running in real time in SkyTap, while less critical resources may be suspended and out of date rather. Some data may need to be restored from an alternate location or backup. SkyTap region to region cold recovery. In a cold disaster recovery architecture, the backup location and resources aren't running in real time. It takes longer for them to come online in the event of disaster, as they need to be powered on and updated. Usually, data must also be restored from an alternate location or from cold backup. SkyTap region to region warm recovery. In a warm recovery in a warm disaster recovery architecture, the critical backup resources are running in real time in a second SkyTap region. Less critical resources may be suspended and out of date. Some data may need to be restored from an alternate location. So in short words, yung cold recovery or skytop cold recovery is kailangan ng long period of time and kailangan din nire-require niya din na ma-restore ito from alternate location or from cold backup. Yun na nga. Kailangan may alternate, hindi yung iisa lang. Parang kunwari may plan A, may plan B, ganun. Tapos kapag sa skytop farm recovery naman, less critical siya. So, meaning, hindi siya, or kumbaga, hindi siya complicated. And less hassle, kumbaga, ika nga nila. Tapos, from time to time, kailangan mo din siyang i-update para hindi hindi magkanda gulo-gulo yung data file na sinisave mo. Next.
Next is advantage of disaster recovery. Number one is continuity. Every minute that your operations are offline is detrimental to your business. It increases the cost and incurred and can cause irreparable damage to your reputation. Not to mention the impact it can have on your team's productivity as they struggle to access the tools they need to do to do their work. So, ang pagkakaroon ng disaster recovery plan sa isang kumpanya na naka-backup yung mga files nila sa cloud, so mas makakaiwas sila sa when disaster strike, parang ganon. Tapos, tuloy-tuloy lang yung operation nila kahit magkaroon ng disaster naman. Number two is enhanced security. Ransom attacks are on the rise every year. Businesses who are ill prepared for a data disaster are often forced to pay millions of rands in compensation to criminals in order to retain their information. Incorporating data backup and restore policies into your disaster recovery plan can ensure that even if your business is does fall victim to a ransom or malware attack, the impact is limited. So, kapag meron kang disaster recovery sa isang, kunyari ang isang kumpanya ay may disaster recovery. So, syempre matataas yung security niya dahil naka-save lahat ng files niyo sa cloud. And kung magkakaroon man ng ransom and malware attack, limited lang yung makukuha nila. So, most likely ang makukuha nila is yung mga unimportant files sa company nyo or sa client ninyo. Number 3 is customer retention. One of and one of many advantages of a disaster recovery plan is that you can ensure your teams are well equipped to handle client questions. Keep your customer up to date on the situation and show that you are well prepared even in the face of disaster. The right disaster recovery plan can not only see you maintaining your well-earned reputation, it can even boosting if it handled correctly, you can set a great example that other companies should live up to. So, syempre, kapag kapag ang isang kumpanya is merong disaster recovery, magkakaroon kayo yung kumpanya nyo ng ability to handle and hold a customer. So, mas marami kayong mahihikayat na customer kasi marunong kayong madali kayong mag-respond sa mga complaints nila, ganon. Next is cost and efficiency. Uh, Having a disaster recovery in a place can see you avoiding each of these costly effects. It can even impact your boat line in a positive way when business is operating as normal. Backing data up to the cloud using service like Microsoft 365 backup rather than to on-premise disk or servers can see you reducing your operating costs significantly. So, ang disaster recovery plan, ang ginagamit nila kasi is cloud and ang isa dito is yung Microsoft 365 backup. So, less parang less cost siya kasi pag nagkaroon ng disaster strike, hindi nyo na kailangang bumili pa ng mga disk and other servers which mahal siya kapag babayaran kasi kailangan mo lang sa cloud is account and i-secure yung account na yon. So, makakatipid ka. Next is increase productivity. A disaster recovery can keep your data accessible and available even when disaster strikes. But just having a plan in place can improve productivity as well. When ensuring that your teams know their roles in keeping your data secure and know precisely how to respond when an attack occurs will reduce the risk posed to your information. So, syempre, kapag meron kayong disaster recovery plan, kahit magkaroon man ng mga disaster strikes, parang hindi madadaanan yung productivity ninyo. Parang kahit na may mga customers kayo, tama ba? Tama. Kung may mga customers kayo na nagko-complain na sasagot nyo agad, ganon. So, hindi mag-i-stop yung productivity ng company nyo. Next is the advantage of disaster recovery. Number 1 is complete loss of data. At a time when most businesses are heavily reliant on their information technology infrastructure, data is bread and butter. There is an unlimited number of ways that organizations can lose their data, including through natural disaster, human error, security breach, and etc. So, ang example dito is, for example, nag-erode yung company ninyo. So, nagkaroon ng earthquake, something ganon. So, nawala. Most of your documents na nakasave sa disk and yung mga servers nyo na natabunan is hindi nyo na, mahihirapan nyo na silang ibalik. Parang ganon. Tapos, siyempre, lahat ng napagpaguran nyo sa pagbubuo ng company ninyo, mawawala lang sa isang disaster strike kapag wala kayong disaster recovery plan. Next, number 2 is business interruption. Anytime your organization is not operating at full capacity, you are losing money. You not only lose revenue but also employee productivity. So, in the case of any disaster, minor man o hindi, kapag walang disaster recovery ang kumpanya nyo, Thank you, Lord. Excuse me. Parang naglo-lose kayo ng productivity kasi nag-i-stop yung productivity nyo and naglo-lose din kayo ng money kasi kailangan yung magbayad ng mga professional para maibalik pa yung mga data ninyo. So, ang help ng disaster recovery dito is sila yung nagpapa-smooth and cohesive approach na nagdi-deal sa mga customers ninyo para tuloy-tuloy yung ah, productivity, parang ganun. Number three is loss of clients. People are more aware of information security than even before. Although your customer might be understanding and not likely to be moved by the fact that you are had a data breach, they will demand to know where their information has gone. So sa loss of clients naman, syempre kapag nagkaroon ng disaster strike tapos hindi kayo ready. So syempre, magtatanong yung mga customer kung bakit nawala yung mga information nila, kung paano nyo hinahandle yung mga information nila, bakit biglang nawala. So, ganun. So mawawalan kayo ng kliyente. Next is damage reputation. How a business handles a disaster can either build or hurt its reputation. Poor handling of disaster can have a greater and longer lasting impact far after the actual disaster. So dito naman, syempre kapag hindi niyo naalagaan yung mga clients ninyo, syempre bababa yung reputation ng company niyo kasi sa panahon ngayon mas pinapahalagahan nila yung mali kaysa sa tama. So, pag nagkamali yung company niyo, syempre mag-i-spread yun sa area ninyo and maglo-lose kayo ng clients and bababa yung reputation niyo. Last is business failure. A huge and widespread disruption in technology infrastructure can well and truly dominate an organization. Unfortunately, no organization, however tech-savvy or protected, is immune from such catastrophic disruption. However, with the proper disaster recovery that includes measures such as data backup and secondary data center, an organization can survive a catastrophic disaster. So, syempre, kapag di kayo marunong mag-handle ng clients ninyo, nawala yung mga files ng clients nyo, syempre, bababa yung reputations ninyo, and susunod na dun yung pagbagsak ng businesses ninyo. Ganon.
Importance. The importance of a disaster recovery plan cannot be overstated. Regardless of industry, when an unforeseen event takes place and brings day-to-day operations to a halt, your organization needs to recover as quickly as possible and continue to provide services to your clients. From data security breaches to natural disasters, you must be a plan in place in case of catastrophe. Not having a disaster recovery plan in place can put the organization at risk of high financial costs, reputation loss, and even greater risk for its clients and customers.
How does it work? A disaster recovery plan is a formal document created by an organization that contains detailed instruction on how to respond to unplanned incidents such as natural disasters, power outage, cyber attacks, and any other disruptive events. The plan contains strategies on minimizing the effects of a disaster, so an organization will continue to operate or quickly resume key operations.
Marso.
Benefits. Number one, reduces start times with lower RTO and RPO. Disaster recovery guarantees the restoration of systems, services, and application quickly. Thereby effectuating lower RTO and RPO. They are planned parameters and employed methods ensure drastic reductions and restore times based on an organization's needs. Number two, contain losses. VR plans for business information systems can limit the losses in terms of revenues and the cost of possible damage caused by downtime and technical assistance expenditure. Number three, safeguarded business operations. Every organization has some critical processes that must always be active and are essential for business continuity. Implementation of VR strategies ensures that such procedures are preserved and possible interruptions, if any, are minimized, thereby resuming operations in a shorter period. Number four, protective business reputation. Business downtimes caused by unexpected incidents or disasters can seriously threaten and hamper the firm's reputation. Therefore, a short recovery plan can avoid the irreversible damage to the organization's image and, in turn, and to its business strength. Number five, granular management. The GR solution enables to manage replications in a granular way. This means that the data of all file level or even smaller units and monitored, managed, and restored to carry out the complete recovery of data and services. Number six, consistent performance. Business infrastructure replication on one or more disaster recovery sites of premise locations ensures that there is no impact on business performance, thereby allowing all systems to stay online constantly. Number seven, chance to customize your GR. Another benefit of VR is exercising the chance of customizing and monitoring your own disaster recovery plans. You can figure out your own replication frequency fees on the business needs of your organizations.
Kanya tawag biday na tunggal. Okay.
Security. Disaster recovery is generally planning process and it produces a document which ensures businesses to solve critical events that affects their activities. Such events can be a natural disaster, earthquakes, floods, etc. Cyber attacks or hardware failures like servers or routers. As such, having a document in place, it will reduce the downtime of businesses process from the technology and infrastructure sides. This document is generally combined with businesses continuity plan with which makes the anal- analysis of all the process and prioritize them according to the importance of the businesses.
So here is the price of disaster recovery. The cost of a disaster recovery plan can vary. It's usually driven by a business first defining acceptable costs and losses should the worst happen. For example, how much time does your business need to recover before severe continuity issues occur? Recovery time objective or RTO. And what is the maximum acceptable amount of data loss after a data loss incident? Recovery point objective or RPO. Putting an exact price on all of this can be tricky, but in general, the larger the business, the more it's likely to spend on disaster recovery. One study found that businesses with a daily downtime cost exceeding $10,000 spend in excesses of $10,000 of on disaster recovery. The same study revealed that has 41% of those surveyed said their organization's annual disaster recovery budget was north of $100,000. So this is the price of disaster recovery. It can cost $10,000 per each spend of excess.
Comparisons. Backup. Backup can be simply copying your files to another disk. This can be done in a multiple of different ways, including a secondary computer or a cloud host backup solution. Having a backup is essential for all businesses operations. Backups are used to protect data in case you accidentally delete something important. A computer gets stolen or if the hard drive crashes. A backup can help you easily restore the data you have recently lost. Disaster recovery is related to backups except is most likely used for bigger problems. Disaster recovery completely mirrors your entire system, including disk drives and servers. This allows the company to restore the entire system without having to reinstall the operating system. This can also allow your employees to work while the system is being recovered, using a mirrored system allowing almost no downtime at all.
So in disaster recovery, we have three techniques. One of those is synchronous replication. When data and systems are replicated both on the secondary side and locally, the replication is need synchronous. This kind of technique guarantees the business continuity and a fast restore of pieces consequently very low of recovery time objective and recovery point objective. So dito, yung the way na pag-save ng or pag-write ng product data sa primary storage, uh, dapat nare-replica siya ng simultaneously and dapat yung primary copy and the replica should always remain synchronous at time. Next is asynchronous replication. To remedy the distance issue, you can choose the asynchronous replication. This technique has not distance limits at all and allows you to protect your businesses even in a case of large-scale disasters, which would damage both sides, for instance, an an earthquake. So sa asynchronous naman, the products write data muna sa primary storage and then makakopy yung data doon sa replica niya. So in an instance, write operation may be transmitted to replica in batches or a periodic basis. For example, every 5 minutes dapat nare-replica siya. So next is mixed technique. So the mixed technique enables to minimize recovery times and at the same time is effective in ensuring the availability of service even with expanded disaster. It consists of replicating system with the synchronous technique on a relative close site and make second replication on a distant place. So sa mixed technique naman, ang replicating system niya is synchronous technique. Pwede siya sa una malapit muna and then yung second replication niya sa malayong places na gano'n.
So here are the 6 steps to develop a better disaster recovery. First, back up all data. Backup is an obvious solution and the first step to recovering from data loss. Generally, when we plan something and if it doesn't work, we we also keep a backup plan. Similarly, from a business perspective, it is imperative to have backup plans with respect to data. Second, choose the right backup category. There are mainly three categories of backup. First, in full backup, as the name suggests, a copy of the entire data is made every time you perform a backup, which is stored on another media or set of media. It's the most basic backup operation and takes much longer to perform subsequent backups. However, as it copies entire data to a single set of media, restoration time is minimal. And the second is the incremental backup. Is fast and backups only the altered files or new files added or removed to or from a folder with a modified timestamp. The data copied after the first backup is smaller and thus it requires less storage. The disadvantage is that the older version of the files is often unavailable. And lastly, then there's differential backup, which is mostly similar to incremental backup. The only difference is that it copies change data along with the previous backup. Since it doesn't replace the older data, the storage and time required for differential backup is more than the incremental backup, but far less than a full backup. Next, Priya. Wait lang. And the third step was the plan effective backup strategy. While it's necessary to choose the right backup category, it's more vital to choose the right backup strategy. For a better comprehensive disaster recovery, backup availability is highly crucial. Therefore, multiple backups are indispensable. A fairly popular and reliable backup rule you might have heard is a 3 to 1 backup. Fourth, data recovery software. A data recovery software that helps quickly restore the deleted and lost files. However, it's important that you immediately stop using the system or the drive data loss to avoid overwriting. A reliable data recovery software can help you restore data from a severely corrupt drive or volume quickly. Fifth, document critical information. Documenting critical information is a key measure to help resume normal operations and should be a basic professional and personal responsibility. Additionally, documenting critical information, IT infrastructure, credentials, and etc. makes troubleshooting and restoration easy and more efficient. In the event of a catastrophic failure process, documentation provides valuable insights and guides a user to reduce the loss. And last step for developing a better disaster recovery is test and rehearse disaster recovery plan. The most crucial, however, often overlooked step to create an effective disaster recovery plan is to plan is to test the plan. The plan should be audited regularly. Audits can be internally or by third-party organizations like a consultant. Testing the problems, challenges, and loopholes that need to be plugged for a foolproof foolproof disaster recovery program. Because without these six steps of developing disaster recovery, your files or your other files will be corrupted without following these 6 steps to develop a better disaster recovery. Next. Which na? Sino? Si Kuya Paul, ikaw na sa which?
Ako na lang.
Oh.
Akin. Which disaster recovery scenarios to test for? Data loss, data loss and backup recovery. Number 2, failed backups. Number 3, backup verification testing. Number 4, network interruptions and outrages. Number 5, hardware failure. Number 6, outages. Number 7, on-site threats and physical dangers. Number 8, workforce interruptions. So yung data loss and backup recovery, alam naman na natin siguro yan. Yun yung pagkawala ng data or files and yung pag-recover nito. Tapos yung number 2, failed backups. Yan yung mga na-interrupt na backup. Kunwari, nag-transfer ka ng files sa flash drive or sa USB mo, tas biglang nahila or nagkaroon ng corruption sa laptop or flash drive, ganun. Number 3, backup verification testing. Yan yung yung parang kumbaga way or ano nang tawag nito? Basta yan, parang way siya kung paano mo malalaman na kung magsa-successful ba yung pagba-backup mo or hindi. Number 4, network interruptions and outages. Yun kapag sa online backups like cloud drives, sa paggamit ng cloud drives kapag ano yung time na nagba-backup ka sa yung cloud drive mo tas biglang nagkaroon biglang nawalan ng internet. Pa-off mic naman sana.
Sige
Number
lang.
5, hardware failure. Yun na nga yung kunwari biglang nag-shutdown yung PC or laptop na ginagamit mo or corrupted. Number 6, utility outages. Yung kulang ka sa utilities na ginagamit or yun na nga, kulang sa ginagamit na utilities. Number 7, on-site threats and physical danger. Like kunwari, stealer, yung mga magnanakaw, yung mga pwede din namang environmental threats kasi yung sa earthquake, ganun, typhoons. And number 8, workforce interruptions, yung mga barriers sa work sa work or workplace like mga katrabahong magulo or mga katrabahong may init, may kulo sa'yo na gusto kang mag-fail or gusto kang mawala sa company ninyo. Yun lang. Next.
Next na po tayo. So, secondly, this is the definition of data backup. Is a process of duplicating data to allow retrieval of duplicates set after a data loss event. Today, there are many kinds of data backup services that help enterprises and organizations to ensure that data is secure and critical information is not loss in a natural disaster, theft situation, or other kind of emergency. Based on my research, data backup is the process of replicating all the files that is being stored at the destination location. For example, yung mga files mo is nagkakakalat-kalat kung saan sa mo nilalagay. Kaya kailangan ng data backup para ito ay maging organized. Next na.
Platform Acronis develops backup and data management products for consumers and small businesses. The company offers standard and advanced versions of Acronis backup. Administrators can use Acronis to back up data to one of more than 14 global Acronis managed data centers. Number two, Carbonate. Carbonate mainly targets small businesses. Carbonate Endpoint 360 protects endpoint devices and data stored in common SaaS applications. User can store backup data in their organization's data center. In a Microsoft Azure enterprise account or in Carbonate's on Azure Host Vault. Number 3, Clomio. Clomio is a data protection startup that I focuses on protecting data in the public cloud and on premises. Premises. The Chromio platform runs entirely as a service in the public cloud, protecting native house the AWS services, Office 365 and VMware either in AWS or a premises. Number 4, Cohesity Inc. Cohesity offers a range of data backup tools that were originally based on the physical appliance model. The, the core of the Cohesity offerings is data platform, a scale out architecture that consolidates secondary data, shares, and object store data. Data platform is now available on premises as an appliance at the edge for remote offices with the virtual edition in the public cloud as a virtual instance with the cloud edition. Number 4, Commvault. Commvault's suite of products provide data protection across on-premises and cloud environments. The core offering Commvault Complete is a single data backup and recovery product with wide support for public cloud, OSS, virtualization, application databases, and endpoint devices.
Wait lang guys, pause muna, pause muna. Diyan mo na mag-stop.